Hi guys, Ian here from Fantastic Dimensions. Just wanted to expand on something that I spoke about recently in one of the VR tag videos, and that's campaign prep. Well, just game prep in general, but in this case, the specific example I want to make is my campaign prep. It's Defiance Day today, which means I'm going to run the 9th episode of my space opera campaign in D&D 5th edition. So it's been a really good campaign so far. My players are really into it. It's one of the best groups that I've ever gamed with. Everybody seems to be really having a good time, and it's getting a lot of positive feedback from people who play in it, and also from the few people I know that I've spoken to that watch it as well on YouTube. So I had said in my previous RPG tag video that I don't do a lot of campaign prep or a lot of game prep, that I probably do maybe less than is healthy for some game masters, but it seems to work for me. So it's been 2 weeks since our last session, since episode 8, and really, aside from talking to my players about the game, I've done nothing else as far as prep goes. I have ideas in my head as to things that are going to happen, because the last episode ended with a real big cliffhanger, which just basically left everybody kind of, wondering what's going to happen next. They're basically about to be involved in some kind of a big nasty fight where over half the crew are aboard the Elven capital ship and kind of at the mercy of the Elven elite guards right before the Elven King. A couple members of the crew are back aboard their own vessel, which has just been grappled by the Elven living ships. And then one other crew member is also on the capital ship, but he happens to be down below decks. And yet another crew member is just off because one of them has decided to go off on his own. So he has taken an Elven scout ship. And basically where we left it off in the campaign, nobody knew really what had happened to him, because this was before the elves betrayed them. But essentially, through my secret Facebook group, we've had a little bit of play-by-post stuff going on just in between sessions, and we've determined that he has basically he's appealed to the honor of the elves of that ship, and that they're going to give him the use of their ship. But they want him to make it look like he has commandeered it. Excuse me. Begging your pardon. Man, now I really wish I did video editing so I could cut that out. Anyway, so that's kind of where everybody was left off. Now, I have ideas in my head, and don't worry, I'm going to post this video after running the session, if I post it at all, depending on how the quality turns out. But what I've decided in my head is now, and I've kind of hinted towards them, that there's a cavalry coming, because it seems like a pretty hopeless situation, and they're wondering how the hell they will ever get out of it. But essentially, what I have in mind is there's going to be this huge space battle, which is just about to kick off. The Elven Prince, in fact, he's on the deck of the ship, and he was last seen in our play-by-post sneaking up behind the Elven King with a dagger in his hand. I'm not sure what he's going to do. Is he going to attack him? Is he going to take him hostage? Is he going to try to kill him? But the Elven Prince has a relationship with one of the player characters, so there's a big question mark as to what's going to happen there. But despite that going on as well, there's going to be this huge space battle that's going to kick off. It's going to involve multiple fleets, multiple factions involved in our story. So, like I said, they're with the Royal Elven Armada, basically, the King and his capital ship, and then there's many dozens of other Elven ships, battleships and such, and support ships in the Armada there present. The Githzerai are going to send in their fleet because they had made a promise to the crew, particularly to the Githzerai crew member, Dekathakali, that they would come to their aid in their time of need if they did something, for them, which they did. So they're going to show up and basically attack the Elven fleet to buy time for the crew of the Defiance to escape, to try and escape at least. But also, the Githyanki Dominion, specifically the Githyanki Rebellion, because the Githyanki Dominion's kind of divided into two factions right now. There's loyalists and rebels. The Githyanki Rebellion, which is led by Aemon Drakkar, who is he's like a dark knight of the Githyanki. He's very much been a villain in this game for the crew. He constantly has been defeating and taunting Hakon Nine Fingers specifically. So yeah, they got a lot of personal grief with this guy. But he's going to show up with his fleet as well. And although they're supposed to have just struck an alliance with the Elven Transcendency, they are also going to probably get involved in the battle, perhaps attacking the Githzerai, perhaps attacking the Elves. I haven't entirely figured out even in my own head how that's going to work out yet. I'm going to kind of wing it when we get there. But so they're going to turn up. I might have the Githyanki Dominion loyalists show up as well to attack the rebellion and the Transcendency. The human, what's the name of the Authority of Man have shown up just at the end of the kind of cliffhanger of the last episode, because the Transcendency, in their betrayal, are turning the crew of the Defiance over to the Authority, seeing as they were fugitives from the Authority when they had stolen the vessel in the first place. Let's see, how many other fleets is the Transcendency? 2 fleets of the Githyanki, the Elven, the Authority of Man. That might be about it. I don't know. I'll just have to see when I get there. If I feel particularly inspired, I might even throw in another faction, yet. Samuel Swift is probably going to turn up with this small little elven scout ship that he's commandeered. In fact, I had thoughts of possibly having him bringing the Githyanki Rebellion behind him. I'm not really sure if I'll go with that yet or not. Again, this is, just to show you how little prep I've actually done. In a lot of ways, I'm going to improv this in the session, depending on the way things are going, how much I think is needed. I'll feed off of the player characters as well. I mean, you never know when they're going to say something that might give me an idea. Aside from that, once they escape, and I have not yet decided, I mean, their actions will decide whether they escape, all of them escape, if they escape with their own vessel, if they end up having to commandeer another vessel for their escape. It's still yet to be decided. I had given some thought to possibly destroying their ship, depending on what kind of actions they take. But, by the time this video is released, that'll all be in the episode anyway. Once they get out of this scenario, my brother, who plays Samuel Swift, he's the character who decided to strike out on his own, although he is coming back briefly for this battle to try and help them escape. But he will then again be separated from them. He's made a new character, a Dragonborn Druid, that he wants to play. And so I got to think of a way to work his character into this. Now, we have not had any Dragonborn in the campaign yet. So an idea that I just kind of thought of today is, what if, in their escape, a wormhole opens up? Kind of like a one-way portal, basically. And they, in their desperation to get away, they will probably take this wormhole to get out of the current scenario, the current massive battle that's raging around them, where nearly every side has a stake in taking them out. And then, and this is kind of, I suppose, I take my inspiration from lots of TV shows, and this is from a show that I never even actually saw before, but I know enough about it because it's such a popular franchise. I believe in Star Trek Voyager, somehow their ship ended up like on the other side in a completely different quadrant of the galaxy, very, very far away from anything that they know. And I'm thinking to do something kind of like that with the Defiance, where they're going to come out of this wormhole, this portal, and they're going to end up on another complete side of space, away from any of the races and the empires that they've encountered so far. Now, why would I do such a thing? Well, when we first kicked off this campaign, they were all pirates. There was this whole sense of kind of adventure and going out into space, because they didn't even know that space travel existed in the first session, until the end of the first session. So, and then through the course of the story, they ended up getting embroiled in this huge political scenario with the elves. The elves gave them shelter and took them in when everybody else was kind of haunting them. And then they ended up getting involved in this massive war with the Githyanki. And a few people have made the comments that, the campaign, it's not gone exactly the way they expected. It's not that they're not enjoying themselves, I don't think, but just that they didn't expect to become soldiers in a war. Now, that's going to change anyway because of the fact that they've been betrayed by the Transcendency. But my thought is now, what if I put them off in this other complete quadrant of space, far, far away from anything they know, maybe even away from, I may even throw in, you know, races and creatures that speak languages they don't understand, you know, make it really kind of alien to them, and they have to find their way again in this new place, new things to discover, new races to experience, new relationships to forge. You know, just a whole lot of ways that could go from there. It'd be, yeah, really adventurous, really space exploratory kind of thing. So we'll see. That's an idea that I'm having, and I think I will probably do that tonight. Like I said, by the time this video is being seen, it will have been done. But yeah, I think that's probably the route I'm going to go, because it sounds kind of crazy fun, puts a new spin on the campaign, gives them a chance to kind of shake off the massive amounts of, you know, plot and subplot and you know, empires and stuff that are chasing them. I mean, they've got villains for days at the moment, and I'm not saying obviously that they'll never get back there. Of course they will eventually, but it might just be kind of a way to open a new chapter in the game. So yeah, so if all these things happen, and if the quality of this video is any good, then I will have posted this probably sometime late tonight or early tomorrow after the session has been recorded. So yeah, happy International Tabletop Day, everybody. This has just been a little insight into the way my brain works with my current prep for episode 9 of the Defiance Chronicles. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, if you just want to tell me I suck, go ahead and drop a comment down below. If you're not a subscriber and you find this stuff interesting, please subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of actual play stuff here. You can see all 9 episodes of the Defiance Chronicles here. And I also do quite a few little one-shots and things of that sort. You know, I've got a Mass Effect series that just kicked off last week. The second session of that's going to happen tomorrow. Yeah, you know, there's lots of stuff going on here. So thank you very much for your time. Have a good day, and I will see you at the gaming table.